Now, first of all, tell me, what is this wind energy? Yes, we all know it is a renewable source of energy. How does it operate? So, can I say in simple terms, it is kinetic energy. It is the kinetic energy associated with the movement of atmospheric air. Associated with the movement of atmospheric air. Wind turbines transform the energy in the wind into mechanical energy, into mechanical, or we can say power, into mechanical power. Further, it is converted into electric power. Further, converted into electric power. Am I clear with this? Simple and easy. Kinetic energy associated with the movement of atmospheric air, where the energy in the wind is converted into mechanical power, later on into electric power. Who's playing this role? Wind turbines. And what are these two types of turbines? Onshore wind farms, offshore wind farms. Is it clear? Let's talk about these leading countries engaged with it. You have Germany, you have USA, Denmark, Spain, and India. These all accounts for 80% of the world's installed capacity. So these 5 countries are involved in the 80% of the total wind production in world. इसमें जो आज का डेटा हमें कहता है, इंडिया स्टैंड्स ग्लोबली एट 4th. What is India's rank? 4th. चलिए, I was expecting a question from you. What is installed capacity? It means the wind turbines which we have installed, how much they produce energy at the optimum availability of the wind conditions. As he said, there will be variable, obviously all the time they cannot. Similarly, if I say solar power panel installed capacity, it means whatever we have these instruments, whatever instruments we have there and which are functioning, what is their potential to generate energy at the optimum sunlight which is present. If I am saying about the gas based thermal power plants, so whatever installed capacity is there, how much they are able to generate energy or produce energy in the optimum given conditions. Hope it is clear. So this is one of the very fact based, that these are the countries which total contribute 80%. And when we talk about India, ranks globally 4th in renewable energy sector. It ranks 4th globally in wind and 5th in solar with respect to installed capacity. Hope it is clear. Now, come to the next part. Right, largest operational onshore wind farms are in largest operational onshore wind farms are in first right USA, second right India, third right China. USA, India, and then you have this China. Clear with this? Next, right? Types of wind farms or types of wind parks. We have one called as onshore, another is offshore. Very important को समझिएगा. One is onshore, another is offshore. When we specifically talk about this onshore, onshore can have some advantages. Are advantages challenge? No. What will be advantages? Beneficial. And some will be their disadvantage. Similarly, when we talk about the offshore, there can be some advantages and there can be some disadvantages. So it means when we talk about this first wind energy, we discuss it with the basic information. Now, what is the second part we have to address? This. Fine. Now, if I'm particularly talking about onshore, if I have to sum up, without advantages or disadvantages. So, right, onshore wind farms, right, turbines harness the energy. Turbines harness the energy. Turbines harness the energy of moving air to generate electricity. Of moving air to generate electricity. What is onshore and what is this? Offshore. First, without first going to disadvantages, let's write about onshore, right? Onshore wind refers to the turbines located on land. What it refers? To turbines located at land. Whereas offshore, turbines are located out in sea. Turbines are located out at sea or in fresh water. इसमें एक important point ऐड कीजिएगा. One. Next, right? Offshore wind farm must be at least offshore wind farm must be at least 200 nautical miles, must be at least 200 nautical miles from the seashore and 50 feet deep, and 50 feet deep ocean. Is it clear? How much it should be away from the shoreline? What is shoreline? Actual demarcation of land and water. Is this clear in the sea? So is it a fix or it fluctuates? Fluctuates. So from that shoreline, how far it should be around? 200 nautical miles. And how much deep at least it should be in the sea? 50 feet. Now can you tell me in both, when I'm talking about specifically this onshore and offshore, can you tell me in installation where will be challenges and the financial investment required very high? Offshore, because you have to build their platforms, you have to take the machineries there and then finally install it. And can I say both can have their own challenges? Fine. Let's come to the advantages of offshore wind farm. What we are first discussing here? Advantages of offshore wind farm. In sea, wind speed is high, thus more energy can be generated. True? Why this wind speed is high? Already we know. Friction is there, less. terrestrial friction nahi hai, and there is no vegetative cover, there is no obstruction like hills or mountains. Next, right, no physical restrictions, another point, right, no physical restrictions, or can I say physical barriers, physical restrictions. ये किसके लिए physical restrictions? For the movement of wind. So right, no physical restrictions such as hill or building, such as hill or building, oblique कर दो forest, that could block the wind flow. Windmills can be built larger, taller than onshore, thus additional or thus more energy can be generated. Can I say there is no dearth of the space? है ना, onshore में तो there is limitation of the land. Is it clear? Okay. Here, can I say on a large scale, environmental clearance is also not that much required. But yes, while we are establishing it, we have to keep in view that it should not anyways affect the marine biodiversity. But land में सबसे बड़ा क्या है? Land acquisition, clearance of titles. Is it clear? किनको करना है? Companies को करना है. And then third is there pollution. Pollution wind से नहीं. While your noise can be there or while you install it. Am I clear with this? Next लिखिए. Okay, now listen here. So can I say apart from that, I don't see any other more advantage of it. यही तीन है. एक तो energy generate करेगा. Is this clear? Now let's come to disadvantages. Right, first disadvantage, costly. What is first? Very costly. It is expensive to build and maintain. What does maintain means? Maintenance cost. Because of following factors. Why? Because of their location. What is geographical location? Close to the coast, away from the coast? Away from the coast. Right? They are often prone to damage from very high speed wind. Damage from very high speed wind. They are often prone to damage from very high speed wind during storms and thus are expensive to repair. Again, let me again peep into the economy part. What government has said or what the international forum for this renewable sources of energy is saying, it doesn't only happen in India, it happens worldwide. In India only, the growth rate in the renewable source in the year 2022-23 with 2024, it is seen around 9 to 10%. कितना growth हुआ है sector में? 9 to 10%. Only in which year? 2022-2023. So अगर मैं छोटी सी example दूं, again to support my data, the growth rate of renewable energy sector in 2022-23 production, cost of production, I'm sorry with that term, cost of production has increased to 9 to 10%. Growth rate is also seen. It means we are producing more and more energy. But how much has cost of production increased? 9 to 10%. What it means, cost of production? It means the raw material which is available. What is raw material here? Turbines manufacturing. Is it clear? Raw material used for installing it, transportation cost, that has increased. So it means obviously its per unit cost available will be more or less. More. Agar pehle 2 rupees per unit was there, obviously when the cost of production will increase from 2 it will jump to 3 or to 5 depending. So it means where should be the focus? Controlling these prices. Again, where government has to focus, or whole at the world level we have to focus on the availability of these, manufacturing of these instruments, starting from the availability of raw material. It should be available at the cheaper price. It means price stability is one factor. What is required? Price stability. If its production goes more than the thermal later on, though it is still more, so why will people adopt it? Is this clear? इसलिए कहता हूँ न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, सारे न्यूज़पेपर में आता रहता है. Now, so this is one of the disadvantage. Second, right, another disadvantage, those built closer to coastline, generally with 26 miles. Those built closer to coastline, generally 26 miles. Those built closer to coastline, generally 26 miles, are unpopular or can be unpopular with residents, can be unpopular with residents because it can affect tourism and property values. Come to the next, advantages of onshore wind farms. Wind parks लिख लो या wind farms, whatever you want. First, write the advantage. Cost is relatively cheaper. Cost is relatively cheaper. किससे cheaper है? Offshore से. Second, right, the shorter distance between the windmill and the consumer. The shortest distance between the windmill and consumer, shortest distance between the windmill and consumer allows for less voltage drop, allows for less voltage drop of, allows for less voltage drop of onshore, yeah, drop off on the cabling, drop off. Disadvantage, it means government has to work, technology can be here introduced on the working of it, right? Another point, wind turbines can be quickly installed in few months. Wind turbines can be quickly installed in few months as compared to nuclear power plant which took around 20 years to build. Hope it is clear. Let's come to the disadvantages. Disadvantages of onshore. Right, first disadvantage, it do not produce energy throughout the air. Do not produce energy throughout the air. It must be some reasons, right? Because first, right, poor wind speed. First reason is because of poor wind speed. Can I say pressure gradient keeps on changing? And second, right, due to physical barriers like hills or mountains. Due to physical barriers like hills or mountains. Is it clear, guys? Next, right, noise pollution. Another is noise pollution. So can I say it will directly affect the property values there? Common with this? Tourism will be directly affected. Okay. Some challenges like land acquisition, environmental clearance and title clearance. ये क्या होना चाहिए बेटा? स्पीडी होना चाहिए. इसलिए इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट करना क्या चाहिए? सिंगल विंडो फ्रेम. समझ आ रहा है? सिंगल विंडो जहां only these all will be taken care in a one go. Is this clear?